Hey guys, and welcome to a bit of a different video today. With the F1 2020 season finally over, I thought it would be as good a time as any to look back to the start of the year. This video is dated March the 8th, 2020, so it was pre-lockdown, before the Australian Grand Prix was cancelled. And yeah, it's this video, my predictions for the F1 2020 season. And you know, I just wanted to look back at it. I think I say in the video just to look back on to say how wrong I am, and I've already had a skim through, and my god, I was just... Yeah, I mean, the video will speak for itself, how awful some of these predictions were. I think this video is more just, I don't know, to be entertaining, kind of, or be dramatic for the sake of being dramatic, just to, I don't know, get more views, I guess, because, I mean, some of the predictions in this are just the worst thing I've ever seen. So I'm not going to waffle on anymore. Let's start the video and just see how just abysmal some of these predictions were, so let's begin. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another video, and with only 1 week to go before the start of the 2020 F1 season. Yeah, so just like that, you can see 1 week before the 2020 season. That didn't age well, did it? I think it was, what, like June or May, maybe, when the Austrian Grand Prix first happened. But yeah, 1 week before, but what naive words they were, that the Australian Grand Prix would be happening then, but anyway, let's continue. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin with the most important question: who will be the world champion? So let's just cut to the chase. I think it will either be Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen. At this point, I was kind of just playing it safe. I mean, Verstappen or Hamilton, those are the two favourites, so I don't know. I didn't really want to be too controversial, but I don't know. Well, I mean, I say that, but later on in the video, you'll see how kind of diabolical it gets towards the end. But yeah, Verstappen or Hamilton, fair enough. I think I'll go into detail a bit later on. Overall, however, I'm going to say it will be Max Verstappen as the 2020 champion. And maybe this is just wishful thinking. And yeah, it was just wishful thinking. I mean, yeah, it would be nice to see Verstappen on the top step, of course, but I don't think this year could have been his year. Even if everything went according to plan, the Mercedes and Hamilton were just too fast, too quick. Yeah, no way you could have ever got the championship this year. I mean, of course, he did make a lot of... Well, I was going to say he made a lot of mistakes. It was more reliability issues, especially in the first half of the season. But I don't think that's the most unreasonable prediction, to say Verstappen would have been the champion. I mean, if I said, like, Vettel would be the champion, and he finished, what, down in P13 this year, which no one could have expected, yeah, that would have been bad, or even Leclerc, or any of the others, but Verstappen saying that, I don't think that's too unreasonable, so let's carry on. Now, coming on to the Constructors' Championship, and even though I said Verstappen will be the world champion, I think Mercedes will win the Constructors once again. Well, I mean, that's correct, but it's a bit of a safe bet. It's not like a... Well, I mean, yeah, that's correct, but I mean, was anyone doubting that? That's not really a, like, out there prediction. That's a bit of a safe bet, so I don't know, I can't really give myself a pat on the back for that, because that's kind of obvious, but at least I got something right. Also, it's worth mentioning Mercedes' new car is as fast as ever with its new DAS system, which is still a bit of a mystery as to how much faster the driver can actually go, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I completely forgot how massive a controversy DAS was during the start of the year in pre-season testing. I mean, no, does anyone ever talk about it anymore? I completely forgot it even existed. Like, you had all this talk about this revolutionary new thing that they brought in, this new steering device at the start of the season in Barcelona, but yeah, after a couple of races, it never really came up ever again, to be fair. At the end of 2020, I predict the results will look something like this, and again, okay then, this is quite a handful to look at. I mean, yeah, you can immediately see there's quite a lot of fatal flaws here in this table. First of all, of course, Verstappen I put as P1. That would eventually be Hamilton, of course. Hamilton in P2, I put, who was P2? It was, oh yeah, Bottas, of course. Leclerc in P3, wow. That hasn't aged well at all. Down in P8, sorry, in 2020. And then Bottas down in P4, a little bit hard on him. Of course, it's P2 this year. Albon in P5. Ooh, that's a bit painful, only getting 2 podiums. Down in P7, finished ahead of Leclerc, actually. I didn't expect that. And I'm only realising it now that he was ahead of Leclerc. That's quite interesting. But then Vettel in P6. Wow, that is a substantial F right there. In P6, I can't believe I put him in P6. I mean, of course I would have been none the wiser at the start of 2020. What reason would we have to believe that Ferrari would be so slow in 2020? But Vettel in P6 when he actually finished down in P13, yeah, that hasn't aged well at all, has it? Sainz in P7, where did Sainz finish? He finished P6, so that's not too far off. Ricciardo P8, which was incorrect. He was in P5. Ricciardo this year with his 2 podiums in the Nürburgring and Imola. And then we go on to Norris in P9. I think that was correct. Yep, Norris P9 this year. Gasly in P10. I think that's also correct. Yep, he was P10 this year. Of course, helped substantially by his win at the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. And then Perez in P11. Wow, that is also a really far off one. Actually in P4 this year. So yeah, I definitely was going a bit too hard on Perez there. I don't know what I was thinking when I made this little table. Ocon in P12. I think that was correct. Yep, Ocon P12 this year. Raikkonen P13. Little harsh on Raikkonen. He was a little generous on Raikkonen actually. He was P16 this year. Stroll P14, which wasn't too far off. He was P11 this year. Kvyat P15, again not too far off. He was P14 this year. Giovinazzi P16, again would have been correct if it had not been for Hülkenberg coming in. Then Russell P17, which had been correct as well had it not been for Hülkenberg coming in. Well, I mean, it wouldn't have been on there at all. It wouldn't have been P17 if it hadn't been his 7th or 8th place finish, was it, at the Sakir Grand Prix in Mercedes. So yeah, I could have never predicted that either. And then Magnussen in P18, Grosjean P19, Latifi P20. Grosjean, I think, finished ahead of Magnussen, and Magnussen second to last, and Latifi, of course, in last place. So yeah, this was not the best table or prediction at all. I don't know what I was thinking. I can't get over Perez in P11 when he was actually P4, and Vettel in P6 when he was actually P13. Oh my god. Well, okay, that hasn't aged well at all, so let's carry on. So now that I've talked about the winners of the 2 championships, I just want to throw some random predictions out there, just to see how many I'll get right. Without further ado, let's begin. Albon will win a race for Red Bull by the end of the year. Okay, this hasn't aged well. He got 2 podiums, first in Mugello, second in Bahrain. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't think he could have won. I mean, and those 2 podiums were kind of gifted to him as well, especially in Mugello, when half the grid was wiped out straight away and he was just left to pick up the scraps. But yeah, okay. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people predicted he would win a race, but I don't know. That wasn't the wisest call of action from me. Williams will finish above Haas in the championship. Williams above Haas, right? Okay, so wasn't too far off. Haas finished with 3 points, Williams with 0. So, yeah, again, not too far off, but still so close but so far, kinda. Also, I just want to throw out there, I much prefer this old livery with Rocket, with the Rocket livery car that was used in pre-season testing than the one now. I don't know, I think it looked much better, I think. Of course, they had to change it because Rocket left the team, but yeah, I think the new one was kind of bland this year. It wasn't all that, really. I think this old one looked pretty good. I wish they kept it in some element. Of course, they couldn't have had the Rocket logo, but keeping the red and the like the toothpaste mobile, as it's called, the Colgate car. But I don't know, I think it looked really good. Anyway, I'm getting onto a bit of a tangent here. Let's carry on. The new Vietnamese Grand Prix will defy expectations and be incredibly good. Of course, I can't really comment on that. Didn't happen this year, probably won't happen next year either, with it still not being on the provisional 23 race calendar. So yeah, nothing I can really say about that. The returning Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort will be incredibly bad. Right, so I said Zandvoort will be a boring race. And of course I can't comment on that either, that didn't happen this year. And it will happen next year, so it won't be too long at all before I can finally give some opinions on that. But anyway, carrying on. 2020 will be Sebastian Vettel's final year in F1. Okay, so we know that to be incorrect now. Vettel going with Lance Stroll to Aston Martin next year, the replacement to Racing Point. So that was incorrect. Leclerc will once again get the most amount of pole positions out of any driver throughout the year. Right, so, Leclerc, most amount of pole positions in 2020. Right, press X to doubt there, because that didn't happen even slightly close. I don't think he was in the top 3 for a lot of, I say that, he wasn't even in, like, Q3 for a lot of races. So, yeah, that hasn't aged well whatsoever. Only 2 podiums, not a single pole position compared to the 7 he got last year, which was the most out of any driver in 2019. So yeah, that really hasn't aged well at all. Arguably the least well out of anything in this video. But yeah, that's that then. I don't know really how to examine that. That was a bit of a silly comment, but of course, how could we have just predicted how bad Ferrari would be in 2020? There's no way we could have done anything about that. So moving on, I guess. Verstappen will once again win the Austrian Grand Prix for the 3rd year in a row. This was a bit of a weird prediction when I look at it, but it was incorrect. Bottas won, I think. Yeah, Bottas won, then Leclerc, then of course Norris with his infamous fastest lap on the final lap at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. So yeah, that was incorrect. He didn't win the Styrian Grand Prix either, so I can't even get like half a point there. But yeah, that's that then. Okay guys, brace yourselves for just how stupid this final prediction was. I don't know what drugs I must have been taking when I made this prediction, but I'll just let it play for yourself. This is a bit optimistic, but the final race at Yas Marina will be a 3-way title decider between Verstappen, Bottas and Hamilton. Yeah, that was like as far off as you could possibly get. I mean, Hamilton already wrapped up the the drivers, sorry. I don't know what I was thinking making that. I think I was just trying to make something controversial just for the sake of it, when in actuality it doesn't make a lick of sense, but oh well, that's that then. And most importantly, I believe 2020 will be the best year of the V6 hybrid era before the 2021 rule changes. Right, so this one's kind of up in the air actually. I mean, could you argue the 2020 F1 season is the best of the V6 hybrid era? I think you definitely can. A lot of it was pretty good. I mean, you have some standout ones, of course, being the Sakir and obviously the Italian Grand Prix with Gasly's win. And obviously the first race of the season as well, the Austrian Grand Prix with Lando Norris on the podium. The British Grand Prix was pretty good as well, if I remember. The Tuscan Grand Prix with all that chaos at Mugello was pretty good. The Turkish Grand Prix, once again, pretty good. Of course, we had some mainstay bore fests like the Russian Grand Prix, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the Spanish Grand Prix, and a couple others. The Hungarian Grand Prix wasn't particularly great. The British Grand Prix wasn't particularly great either until that last lap blowout for Hamilton and Bottas' tyres. But all in all, the 2020 season I think will go down in history for more than just being the season when COVID happened. I mean, Gasly's win in Italy will be historic, same as like Vettel's win under the same circumstances in Italy in 2008. Same as the Sakir Grand Prix, the one-off race at the Oval. Hamilton not even at the event, of course, with Perez taking the win from Ocon and Stroll. And yeah, I think those 2 races will without a doubt go down in history, and maybe a couple others as well, but yeah, what a crazy, crazy year. Like, the naive me I see in this video, talking about the season as it was supposed to be before COVID, I could never have suspected we would have Nürburgring, Portimao, Imola, Istanbul Park, the Bahrain Outer Circuit, Mugello, all these racetracks in the 2020 calendar. Who could have expected that? But yeah, I think that's about it for this quick little video talking about my predictions on the 2020 season. And oh my god, they were so wrong. I mean, the one that really stands out for me is the 3-way title decider at Abu Dhabi. I mean, yeah, I don't know what I was on when I made that prediction, but I don't know, I don't even know how to comment on that. That was just dreadful. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe, comment, share, and I'll be back in the next video. See ya!